We're in Grapevine, Texas. Those aren't familiar with Grapevine, it's just outside of Dallas, or maybe it's technically a part of Dallas. It's right there. Dallas is right down the street. I flew into DFW just a couple hours ago at the Gaylord Convention Center, which is, if you've ever been to a Gaylord Convention Center, they're all pretty amazing. This one is equally amazing. Got to the hotel room, had 5 minutes before a meeting started, literally threw my stuff on the desk, got the computer fired up, got the internet connected, and boom, jumped on a meeting immediately. So I just wrapped the meeting now in the hotel room. See, just threw the bag down, desk, just, threw my stuff on it, and I'm in the room. We're here for a conference. I'm speaking at the Alert conference, which is tomorrow. Actually, me and another member of my team, Brian, we're both speaking at this conference tomorrow. Super excited for the event itself and for the mission of Alert. This is the second or third thing we've done here together. So humbled to be a part of it. It does add a little exclamation point for me that my boy Brian, who we've been working with now and friends for more than a couple years, this is his first time doing a speaking engagement, which we kind of brokered as part of the arrangement for me coming down here. So I'm excited to perform and to provide the service that we do, but I'm equally, if not more, excited about getting a chance to watch him do his thing and give his presentation and enter into the grind that is speaking and presentations and coaching, consulting, that sector that we are moving into. So that's what we're doing here. I want to give you guys a glimpse as to what this looks like, just from a logistics perspective. Now, every event's different. Who goes to the events changes. Where they are obviously changes. We travel all over the world now, mostly in the United States. And then what we bring to the events will also change. It just depends on the client and the type of event and whatever it is. Books are usually involved. And then we got a whole bunch of other collateral that we bring. We got flyers, we got bookmarks, you got business cards, you got stickers, you got merchandise, you got the displays, right? Backdrops and banners. So it can change. For tomorrow, we got a pretty robust package. So there's, 4 of us here or 5 of us here going through this, but so we got a lot of stuff. And I just want to show you kind of what this looks like. So this has obviously been streamlined over time and just doing it and realizing that didn't really work all that well, or that was a complete and total pain in the ass, or we got to find a better way to move this piece of kit from point A to point B. So this is what our current loadout looks like for most events where we're setting up kind of a display, whether that's for a booth or a book signing area. This is just some of the stuff. I just want to show you what this looks like. Let me turn this guy around. All right, so here's the view. All right, so first we got this. And this all came from my house. All right, so this stuff is in my garage or somewhere in my home, and I load these things up. This is not a pitch for either of these companies here that are carrying the stuff. I have no affiliation with either of these companies. This is what I currently use. So just a kind of Pelican-looking case, only it's what is it? Company is this? EYLAR? I don't even know how to pronounce that. So in here, we've got 2 of our banners. 1 and 2. And these are great. Self-contained, and you just prop them up and you just unroll it and prop in a couple prongs, and it stands up. And these things end up being, they're like 4 feet wide, and they end up standing, I think, just over 6 feet tall. So they're pretty big. We got a few of them. 2 of them fit nicely in here. I can't get a third one in. Otherwise, I probably would. There's just not enough space without actually destroying these things. So, foam, somewhat protected. So I'll check this in checked luggage. This thing itself weighs probably 65 pounds. So not exactly crazy heavy, but when you're lugging this thing around through airports and, getting inside of Ubers and into the hotel, it's definitely a piece of weight. And then you got this set up here. This bag is also awesome. It's pretty massive. See the size of my hand, which isn't exactly small. And this thing is big. So in here, get this thing open. All right, and here unfolds. On this side is pretty much all like business stuff. All right. We just came from Omaha. So I packed this stuff up, got on a plane, had a connecting flight out of Chicago into Omaha for an event that I had yesterday where I didn't use any of this stuff. But I had to have it with me so I could have it here in Texas because I came straight from Omaha to Texas. So all this is pretty much packed the same way it was when I left. I had 3 of these, which are like acrylic kind of, 8 by 11 stand-up stands. And you can tell that it broke on the route from Tennessee to, where was I? Omaha. So there's a lesson learned there. I already recently ordered new ones where the bottom will detach, so it's not quite as vulnerable to travel. So I had 3 of them. 2 of them are now in the garbage. I just kept this one because I really like the actual document that's in there. So we'll probably just throw that up somewhere tomorrow. But there's a lesson learned. Get some stuff that can actually travel a little bit better. Here's my travel gym bag. All right, cool. Hygiene kit. Nothing too exciting going on there. And then here we got, this is a pop-up stand. Here's the banner. So this is basically just this massive backdrop. It's like 8 foot by 8 foot, I think. And it's super convenient. I mean, you literally, one person can have this whole thing propped up and set up in like 2 minutes. So it's very convenient. It's just bulky, man. Like it takes up this whole bag. And it's not crazy heavy, but it's got a little bit of weight to it. This bag right here, I think weighed about 75 pounds total with all the stuff. So you got the pop-up banner. It's got the bottoms for it. I've got the tablecloth that we've got. And then in here, in this bag, if I can get this open with one hand. Let's see. Stickers. We got a bunch of flyers. I'm just throwing stuff all over the place right now. Flyers. Got a bunch of bookmarks to give away. Stickers. I already hit those. Business card holders. Okay, yep, got it. More flyers, more bookmarks. But then in here, I'm not going to pull it out because this stuff is all stuff. This is basically a standing podium. I think it's used for like music, to hold like music sheets on it. If you were going to play an instrument, I think that's actually what it's used for. But I use it just as a stand-up podium so I can sign books from a standing position rather than being seated, because I've done this in the past where I'm sitting down at a table, hands me the book. I want to shake the person's hand first off, which I would rather do standing. And then people usually want to take photos, which I'd rather do standing. So if I'm seated, I'm like up, down, up, down, up, down, or I'm like bent over. It's just awkward, a whole lot of movement. So I wanted something I could stand up with. And not every venue has like tall tables or a tall platform for me to use. So we just got one for me to use. It unfolds and you connect a bunch of pylons together to create like a standing podium. And then, so all this is all business stuff. This is all just for tomorrow. And then on this side of this other bag, this opens up and it's basically like a whole nother bag. More flyers with this stand-up thing right here. Did this survive the, oh no, so this broke too. You probably can't see. So that cracked right there. Okay, perfect. Because of course it did. It's like, acrylic. It's not designed to be smashed around in a checked bag. But if all goes according to plan, yeah. So it just like stands up like that on a table. So I got to get a new one of those. Perfect. And then here's really just my stuff, just clothing. So I got my clothing here, my hygiene kit, which just fell on the floor over there. That's it. So this massive bag, and then I got my supplements and snacks and food in this little pouch right here. So this whole setup here is mostly business stuff. You're talking, 65, 75 pounds each, call it about 150 pounds or so of gear that I'm dragging from airport to airport, hotel to hotel to set this stuff up. And I got, some of my teammates here to work the booth and set it up and do that, as part of the production we bring. But I was the one that carried all this stuff here and got it physically to the location. And after we're done tomorrow, we'll pack it up and, I'll bring it home with me. So wanted to just show you guys a glimpse of what this looks like. And really because we now work with some amazing photographers and videographers and editors, and content is obviously super important. And we produce that stuff pretty often. And most of the time, as with most marketing or social media in general, is you're seeing just this really polished version of the service or the product or the presentation or whatever it is, the person. It's this polished version. It's like the best angle with the best lighting from the best presentation possible, because you want to make a good impression on your target audience. And we do the same thing. I want to just share with you what has to happen in order for any of that captivating, content to become real. There's a whole grind that happens before and after. And that's just really this is just from a logistics perspective. I'm not even talking about the actual delivery of the message or the performance of the service, which obviously in itself takes an incredible amount of work. This right here, just getting it set up to be presentable is really hot. And this is what goes unnoticed, and that's okay. Certainly it goes unappreciated, which there is no appreciation to be expected. This is what we asked for, and we chose to do this. We didn't have to invest in all this stuff, which is another part of it. This stuff has a cost to it. So you have to decide where you want to invest resources into your production, into your company, into your service you provide, or whatever it is that you do. So there are just countless costs: time, money, energy, effort. And even though me and my team are coming up on 3 years of doing this, in December we'll close out year 3 of this passion project, which still very much is that, even though it is a wildly and surprisingly successful business. It's still a passion project for almost my entire team. Even though we're 3 years into it, coming up on 3 years being into it, this grind still goes on. This still happens. Not even just with me, but on purpose, me doing this type of work into it. It's important. There does come a time, and we've reached that point many, many times in the past, where as the owner of a company, you have to begin bringing in other people around you to start doing stuff. Because if you just try to do everything by yourself, you will lose. It's definitely a team effort, for sure. But it's in moments like this when I'm dragging 150 pounds worth of gear through multiple airports, multiple states, multiple hotels. It's just a really nice reminder that, this kind of sucks. It would be great to never have to do this. And I will almost certainly get to a point where I'm not the one that's dragging stuff around. It would just become a poor use of my time and energy. But for now, as we are still very much babies in this industry, this is what it takes. This is what it takes. And we're 3 years in. So I've had so many conversations lately, not just with military personnel, several military people, and many not, that have expressed an interest in getting into the public speaking market or consulting, coaching, teaching, training, that sector, which, there's not much of a difference, really. The size of the event or how many people or what exactly it is you're talking about, but you're talking about making other people better by virtue of the service that you provide. And it's all kind of the same. So I've had a lot of conversations with people that are interested in doing that, many of which we are now working with now to enable and help and provide a little bit of guidance on how to improve their craft to then do some work with us. Brian, again, is an example of that, who's launching tomorrow, which is awesome. So a lot of conversations lately about people wanting to kind of get into this space, which is awesome. Do it. Just know going in, which most probably do, although most probably underestimate just how hard it actually is, like with most things, is this is what this looks like. It's an absolute total grind. And if you're fortunate to get 15 minutes on a stage or in a room to inspire, train, enable a group of people, every time you do it, it's got to get a little better. Every time. Both your delivery, your craft, the science behind it, the actual substance of it, and the presentation of it. All that is part of the delivery and the effect and the impact that we look to create. And this is part of that. So this is just a glimpse of this. So I'm at the end of this particular road trip. I head back home tomorrow, I think, right after we're done. I think we got a couple hours to hang out. Echelon Front's here as well. They're going to be presenting right after me. JP Donnell is going to be doing that, which is great. I've yet to meet JP in person, so I'm completely excited to see him work and shake his hand and thank him for what he's doing, the work that him and Echelon Front have done, and the work that us and Echelon Front are doing together, which is amazing. So I'm excited about tomorrow. Also excited to get back home. October's been a crazy, amazing, but long and tiring, busy month for us. So I'm excited to get home as well. So a look at what this looks like. It's not all Instagram posts and captivating TikToks and motivational captions. There's a lot of grind that goes in that most don't see, and this is just a quick glimpse of that. All right, we'll see you guys later.